Espaillat for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, New York City is serving, again, its traditional role as a beacon of light, of opportunity for this nation when it comes to the humane and just treatment of asylum seekers. Madam Speaker, that lady still stands at the harbor telling us, give me your tire, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. And that message is heard across the country. My family heard that message. Madam Speaker, I'm sure that even across the country in California, your family heard this message. A tremendous message that is at the very center of America, at the heart of America. Last spring, in an act of political theater, Republican governors began transporting asylum seekers to New York City and other cities across the country. In response, New Yorkers have welcomed them because this is America, and reaffirmed our commitment to ensuring that the American dream is available for all those that want to seek it and want to make their case before government. We should allow people to come and make their case before our government, and then we will determine whether or not they could remain in our country. Since last spring, my city has welcomed over 60,000 new New Yorkers who are seeking asylum in our country. I congratulate and thank Mayor Eric Adams for his remarkable leadership in taking on this great challenge. Over the past year, New York City has opened up 8 new humanitarian response and relief centers and 122 emergency shelters. These shelters are also currently providing over 37,000 asylum seekers with beds while their cases are being processed. However, New York City cannot do it alone. We must get the help of FEMA. This is why I and New York City's congressional delegation fought so hard to secure nearly $40 million for much-needed federal funding. New York is a proud right to shelter city. It requires the city to provide asylum seekers with shelter along with their families. This week I led a letter by the congressional delegation of our city to FEMA to oversee the immediate release of an additional $360 million in shelter and service funds. We must get that aid. Madam Speaker, I want to also address another issue. The weaponization of immigration. How every day, right on this floor, we hear some of our colleagues weaponize immigration for political purposes, particularly during election season. We hear them weaponize this issue to try to score some cheap political points. They try to say that it is the moms that walk for thousands of miles with their children fleeing violence that are carrying fentanyl and other dangerous drugs, when in fact all the evidence from law enforcement shows us that those drugs are being transported through the ports of entry, Madam Speaker. Let's invest in making our ports of entry stronger, safer, so that these dangerous drugs and weapons and human trafficking does not continue to occur. But this political theater of weaponizing immigration must stop. It divides the nation. It makes us look foolish across the world. It diminishes us as a beacon of hope and opportunity that has that lady still on the harbor. Madam Speaker, I encourage New York and other places in need of funding for asylum seekers to apply for a variety of benefits made available to them through the Department of Education, Department of Housing and Urban Development, Health and Human Services. Madam Speaker, this is a nation of immigrants. Don't allow immigration to be weaponized. Let's make sure we address the issue in a comprehensive way. Keep the faith, and I yield back.